Hello and welcome to our first assignment video for Analysing Media, Film and Music. I'm your module convener, Victoria Grace Warden. We're going to talk about the midterm assignment. As with all of our assessments and assignments, assessment information is the place to go. Click on this link. All of the stuff I'm going to talk to you about today is on this page anyway in text, but this is just a quick intro for you. So your midterm assignment will be due in week 7. What you are creating is an academic poster presentation, and this poster presentation is related to globalization. And that is our theme in teaching for weeks 1, 2, and 3. You should take from the readings and pick a particular case study which must be media, film, or music related. So absolutely must be within our subject specicisms. And you will analyze your case study and create a visually appealing poster presentation. Poster presentations are very popular in the media industries and also in academia as ways to kind of pitch creative ideas or to show off a summary if you're researching, start conversations about the stuff you're doing, and also help to get funding. And these are industries, both academia and the media, film, and music industries, where we constantly are needing to get funding for projects. So it's a really, really useful skill to develop. As I said in the module introduction video, this should be a group project, but given the current circumstances, we will accept solo pieces, but please make sure that you let me know your intentions before submitting. And if it is a group project, everyone's name needs to be on that submission. Otherwise, your group colleagues, peers are not going to get the grade for it, which we want to give them the grade, right? We want everyone to get the mark. Your posters are going to be presented in what I've called a virtual poster symposium. So we can't do one of these big kind of conference halls with everyone in there, but we can do something cool and digital in replace of that, right? And I think this is particularly great for anyone who feels nervous or gets anxious about talking in crowds or spending time in big groups, that there's this alternative way for us to do this. And this is quite positive. So on week 7, you will submit on the Monday. On the Tuesday, I will create the page and the week 7 Canvas page from all of your posters. They will be displayed through Talis Interactive, so you can click on a poster and add comments. And this is a really, really important part of what makes this a symposium and not just a poster. That you will be expected to comment on at least 5 other posters and to respond to the comments on your own poster. So between Wednesday and Friday on that week 7, you should be, tapping into the website every now and again, having a look at the page and commenting and having discussions with your peers. I have included a workflow document. This is not a compulsory element of it, but if you are working in a group, and particularly if as a group you think there's discrepancies in terms of workload, this needs to be monitored week by week in the workflow document. In general, we will give all group members the same grade for the presentation unless the workflow document gives us evidence to suggest otherwise, and we will discuss that with the group. So what should your poster include? You'll see here, nice title, exactly that question. It is a sort of mini essay, but perhaps more casual than an essay. It can have bullet points in it. So you need a brief introduction to your case study. You need a consideration of flows of globalization, what moves to where, is the flow unidirectional or multiple and complex? And really important, because this is where the core of your grades come for this assignment, what are the social political implications of this example of globalization? Where is the power lying? Is there cultural blending or co-optation at play? And what are the stakes of this? If you're worried about all these big words at the moment, calm down. We'll talk about these in the 3 weeks of our globalization project. You don't need to worry. And it's the terminology we'll be covering the next 3 weeks that really, really need to be in your presentation. So I've then written here the kind of structure, your little introduction, your mini literature review. That's where you'll define some of the key terms you're going to use and how they've been discussed by other people using referencing, and I've given an example there of their author date or author date page number format. And then the brief analysis of your case study in relation to these social, cultural, political implications. And then a bibliography. We must have the references that you're using. We don't need the references to all the wider stuff you might have read. We need the references to the text that are mentioned in your poster. They must be academic, peer-reviewed, subject-specific references. I don't want business, economics, psychology, sociology, whatever in there. Media, film, music, cultural studies and communication studies. Those are the only kind of references in there. They must be peer reviewed. You can use the advanced search on the Sussex Library search engine to find peer reviewed resources, but all the ones we've put up on Canvas and the recommended and essential reading are peer reviewed, and they must be academic. No blogs, no websites, no journalistic, popular books on the subjects. These are not properly peer reviewed and they are not academically researched. We'll create the posters in Canva, not Canvas, which we're using now. Canva is a really easy to use visual editing software. I'll open up in a minute and show you this. It's important so that we can import your poster into the Talis Interactive, that it is an image file. Otherwise, it's more difficult to do that and people won't be able to write comments on your piece. I'm going to set you up into groups, groups based on your seminars. So you can find out who is in your group and by looking at the group list document that I will create at the end of week 1. So if you're being super keen and looking at this before the Friday of the first week of term, you're just going to have to wait, I'm afraid. After that, it will be up there. So once all the seminars have happened that week. You can find people's names by using the global search function in your Outlook email. In fact, if you start typing someone's name into the to the 2 in your webmail, it should start bringing up their name. If you're having problems finding and contacting people, let me know and I can create a group discussion where you can talk to each other. You will all be in the same seminar group, of course. So in your first week of your seminar, we will create breakout rooms very quickly so you can meet your group members, have a bit of a chat and share contact details. That would be the best way for you to meet your group. If you miss week 1, come to week 2, declare in the chat that you do not know your group, and we'll see if someone in your group reaches out and you can share contact details in a private chat or through discussion in breakout rooms or something in that session. So by coming to the seminars, that is the best way to meet your group members. As I said, if it becomes very difficult to coordinate the group, you can do this on your own. We are very aware that there are students living in different time zones from their peers at the moment, and that can be incredibly difficult to try and coordinate group work. We are sympathetic to that and we will do everything we can to support you. And I would say last year, the students did this in the beginning of this chaos. They were in person teaching sessions and they suddenly went online. None of us had any idea what we were doing. And some of the people that did it on their own did some of the best pieces of work because they could focus. So I don't think there's an overall benefit to being on your own or in a group. So the learning outcomes are: use knowledge of relevant social or historical context to evaluate the significance of media, film and musical forms. So that social historical context thing is so important to your poster presentation. We are not looking for descriptions of things, we are looking for analysis. And then choose appropriate methods for a defined investigative task and communicate the application of these effectively. So are you using appropriate sources? Are you doing analysis in the right way? By using critical thinking rather than data, which is much more maths and psychology? And are you presenting it nicely? Is it easy to read? Is it well communicated? Do the visuals help or hinder your argument? And what I've put below this is 8 points, and you'll see them repeated in the checklist at the end of this section, of what we would expect in the top grade work. So this includes accurate spelling, punctuation and grammar. Spell check it, edit it, proofread it. Everyone in the group can have a look at it. Get other people to point out spelling mistakes. You want this to be professional. And with that, it needs to be visually appealing with thoughtful design that thematically represents the case study, is easy to read and aids rather than hinders comprehension of the text. The visuals should be part of the meaning of what you're doing. Pay careful attention to the presentation of the text. Is it appropriately sized? Can we read it? Check it, turning it into an image and zooming in on a computer. Does it pixelate? Is it unreadable? The content must be academically rigorous, and it must illustrate an excellent understanding of debates about globalization, particularly understanding the social cultural implications of this phenomenon. Goes back to the learning objectives. Your work must be informed by academic research. It must be really obvious that you are analysing the case study by applying and thinking through existing academic peer-reviewed literature from our subjects. You will recognise that globalisation is a complex issue and pay attention to these complexities. Thinking beyond just the obvious, the surface level of the reading, digging into the details. And you will not make assumptions without informed research to support ideas. And your work will be original because you'll be analysing a specific case study that's well selected and well researched. And your understanding of globalization will be through relevant academic literature that's subject specific, not from YouTube or TED Talks or blogs or popular books or journals. And you will apply Harvard referencing accurately. And at the bottom of this page is the Harvard referencing guide by the Skills Hub. I would always say just have that open when you're writing your referencing. None of us, revise where the commas go in each of the referencing systems we use. I've used, I think, 5 different referencing systems in the last year. We open up the referencing guide page, we open up our document, and we sit there and we copy it, line by line, making sure we've got the right kind of resource. This kind of accuracy you'll be being marked on with that 3rd learning objective. And there is this template here to help you draft your poster ideas. By February the 6th, if you get me that with some bullet point ideas in it, I will give you feedback and help you, to kind of approve your proposal. So that's a kind of proposal document. Don't use that for the final poster. That is just a kind of drafting your ideas, thinking about what needs to go in what section and making sure you covered each section. This is the workflow document. So that if you want to raise any disputes as a group, you can track who's coming to what meetings and who's doing what tasks. Canva, as I said, I'd open this. You need to create an account with Canva. You can create a collaborative group. So you log in or sign up here. You can see it's really simple. So yeah, you can create Instagram stories, logos, Facebook posts, posters. Poster is what you're doing. But this is great. You want to use it for your presentations. You're doing group presentations. You want to create A4 documents, Instagram stories for other work or your own time. It's a fantastic resource. So it's just great to use. And as I said, there's a video here by Sussex Library staff that was really informative, step by step, how to create your poster in Canva. And as I've said before, you've got your examples here, and you can have a look at student posters here. So you just click on the image, it opens up. You can zoom into things, and you can click and select and write comments about it. And the midterm checklist is here. So just, when you're checking your own work through, like a week before the assessment, have you done it? Click on personal notes, done, ticked off, done. And then you can make sure you've done all 8 of these things. And if each person in your group took responsibility for 1 or 2 of these checkpoints, then the likelihood is you're going to be as successful as possible with this assignment. So I'm going to stop there with this video. Again, as usual, if you have any questions, every Friday I will be live on the module chat from 2:30 to 4:30. Come and join the conversation, but you can also ask questions by adding to the class comments on the document about the midterm assessment there. I look forward to viewing all your posters.